Hey everybody, welcome back to Furniture Flipping Teacher. I'm Lauren, and this is the Weekend Workshop, a series where I take one piece of furniture and completely transform it in just one weekend. Whether you're looking for a quick project for your own home or a way to make some extra cash, these flips are designed to be doable in just 48 hours from start to finish. Let's get into this weekend's project. Our very first project for the weekend workshop is this coffee table. The idea of this series is so that you are able to flip a piece of furniture in just 48 hours so that you understand that it's not all about how big and grand you can have your furniture pieces be, but more so about how you can use your extra time, hence the time in a weekend, 48 hours or less, to flip pieces of furniture. You don't have to have all the time in the world. This is the perfect side hustle if you're interested in that. So we are gonna get first started with cleaning our piece. I've got this coffee table that I just picked up for $10 at a thrift store. So not only is it gonna be done in 48 hours, it's also going to be a super cheap and cost-effective way to flip a piece of furniture and keep it for your own home or sell it for a larger profit. I've got some simple green that I am going to be spraying my piece down with, and then I am going to be wiping it all back to make sure that we're all nice and clean. Oh yeah, and the time starts now. Since this piece of furniture does have one drawer with one piece of hardware, I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew that so that I can get all what's underneath the hardware also clean, just like the rest of the surface. And I'm gonna set this aside because I'm gonna be replacing it in the end. Now that everything is clean, I'm gonna flip this back over and show you the next step. With the look that I am envisioning this table being, I was hoping to not have to sand down since the technique I was going to use doesn't require sanding, but because there are so many dents and dings in the top of this, since it's pine, which is a really soft wood, I am going to need to sand it so that I can get a lot of these dents and dings out. They're pretty shallow, so a sander should get most of them out, and if there are any larger ones, I'll be sure and show you that I am going to fill them in with wood filler, but hopefully that's not the case. So for the sanding portion, I've got my orbital sander here, and then I am gonna be putting on a 120 grit here so that I don't go too crazy with going through the veneer or anything like that, but I'm just looking to sand out all of those dents and dings. They're so superficial that you can't even see them on camera. So just trust me. If you have dents and dings like this, you just need to sand it through, and then you should be totally fine. We got that top all sanded down. Overall, it took me about 30 minutes, which was a bit longer than I wanted it to take, but we are all smoothed out now and I don't have to do any wood filler. I did bust through the veneer here and there, but it's not anything too crazy to where it'll start to soak up any of the product that I'm gonna put on it. But what I'm gonna be doing is a faux wood look on this entire table. I thought about maybe painting the legs and the apron and just doing a faux wood top, but I think really what's in right now and trending is the lighter wood look. And since this is pine, it has very yellow tones, plus, you know, it's super thin veneer. So I decided, why not just do the same faux wood look over the entire thing? Technically, like I said, it doesn't require sanding, but because I had these dents and dings, I had to sand the top at least, but the rest of it doesn't have all those dents and dings. So I am ready to move on, and I'm gonna show you what product I'm gonna be using to get the faux wood look. So the quickest way to get a faux wood look, in my opinion and in my experience, is to use Retique It wooden primer and then stain over it with a gel stain. So I'm gonna flip this table over, start with the legs, and then flip it back over and work on the top. It's easier to flip it over so that way I can get all of the nooks and crannies and corners and all sides of the legs without having to hunch over and bend down. And then, like I said, once that dries, we'll flip it and do another layer of it on the top here. Coat 1 finished and dry. The top's still drying a little bit, but at least the bottom portion is dry. And I am gonna do a coat 2 just to really seal in all of the orange that's still popping through. A lot of the times this Retique It needs 2 coats for really good full coverage. So we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna leave it facing this way this time so that I can get going since the top is still wet, plus me sitting here on my little stool and it propped up on the table doesn't really make me have to get so bent over. So I think that this will just be the perfect setup to do a second coat. I'm now gonna do coat 2 on the top here, and you've probably noticed when I did coat 1, but when you are using Retique It, the idea, or whenever you're really doing a faux wood finish in general, the idea is to make it look like real wood. And so you wanna follow the typical grain of wood. So for these long boards, I'm making sure to go long strokes back and forth, but then for these boards that are going the opposite direction, I'm making sure to do my strokes long and across the entire board this direction instead of this direction. This specific table has lines that really distinguish which way it may go. Sometimes the furniture may not have these indentions, so it may be best for you to tape off different areas. I've done that plenty of times with Retique It or with a faux finish in general, and that's really going to help you achieve that true wood look without it actually being wood. So now comes the part where it actually starts to look like real wood, and that is adding on the gel stain. I'm gonna be using the color Barnwood in a water-based gel stain. It is the same brand as the wooden primer that I used, but it's just a different product. So this is going to give it a little bit of color, and it's just really going to start to look like that. I mean, barnwood. It's labeled barnwood because it is that kind of brown, but it has some gray undertones. It's a really in color right now for wood tones. So I'm excited to go ahead and get this put on there. I'm gonna start with the top and work my way down. And again, similarly to the wooden primer, I want to make sure that all of my brush strokes are going in the direction of the grain that would be there if it were real wood. So on these shorter ones, I'm gonna go this direction, and on the longer ones, I'm gonna go this direction. I'm ready for the top coat so that we can protect all of the hard work that I just put in making this look like wood. I think it really, really turned out so well. I love how it just looks like real wood without it being real wood. Well, like it is, some of it's real wood, but you know what I mean. It's got the full wood look by painting on a few layers of different products, and it's looking so good. I'm gonna be using a satin polyacrylic. This is also from Retique, and it's just going to protect the top and the remainder of the table, and it's gonna give it a little bit of a sheen. The higher the sheen, the more protected it is. So it starts at matte and then satin, semi-gloss, gloss. If you get up to the gloss, it shows kind of every imperfection. So I don't really love gloss. I love satin because it's just a small shine, but it still gives really great protection. And I'm gonna be using my Palm Pro Zebra brush, but instead of just a regular Palm Pro, this one is actually made specifically for top coating. So here is that brush. I'm gonna do long strokes just like I've been doing with the other two products because we want to just keep the look the same across the board. one thing that I like to do in the inside of drawers sometimes is to line them. And so I just dug around in my stash and I had a very small amount of this one left. So I figured why not go ahead and use it up. I cut it to size and I'm gonna go ahead and just plop it right in there. This just kind of, you know, especially if the drawer bottom is very messed up and you can't get it clean, this is really a great option. Or just for some pizzazz and some fun in there, it's another great option. I really do enjoy putting peel and stick wallpaper in the insides of drawers. There we go. Now all we've got left is to put the new knob on and we've got a finished piece in just hours. Gonna go ahead and slide this drawer right on in here. A little tricky when the slide is on the top like this. Okay, so I've just got my very classic brass knob here. I have so many of these on hand that's why I often use them, especially for when it just needs one knob. And so I think I might need a longer screw. Okay, I got a longer screw. So sometimes screws, when they come from Amazon at least, they come with longer screws that are able to be cut, and this one is too long, but the regular one was too short. So what I like to do is put the longer one through and then figure out where I need to cut it. And then I just take the cutters and cut the excess off that I don't need, like that. So we've got a perfect length screw, and just like that, we've got a finished coffee table in just one weekend. All right, let's take a look back at what this coffee table started out as. It was the orange finish pine, super scratched and dinged on the top. So we sanded it down and gave it this beautiful faux wood look with Retique It products. And here we are with this final look of this beautiful coffee table that now has a brand new life. And this only took 2.5 hours of work time. I do want to express that obviously this doesn't incorporate the time it takes for things to dry, but in reality, it's probably double that time. So in total, including dry time and work time, it's probably gonna take around 5 hours to do a project of a similar size with this look. And 5 hours out of a 48-hour weekend, I can definitely give that up to make a little bit of extra cash, and I'm sure you have the time to do so as well. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the weekend workshop, and to see how long something like this may take, it doesn't have to be the most extravagant piece of furniture and a grand old makeover. It can just be super simple. I've got this listed on Facebook Marketplace for $130. I probably added around $20 to $30 worth of materials into this project, so I'm in around $30 to $40 in total. So $100 profit after selling this for $130 would be pretty great for just 2.5 hours of total work time. I hope this inspires you to get out in your garage and start flipping furniture, whether it's for your own home to save a little bit of money and save furniture from the landfill, or to earn a little bit of extra cash over the weekend. I hope it inspires you to get out there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.